Welcome back, everyone, to Standing Out. Welcome back to the Jesse Z Report, which is kind of the me on my own side of things. And I'm your host, Jesse Z. You're here, which is great. Today, I would like to talk about how teenagers can focus better. And I think that when teens are in the school system, they are forced to learn things. I've been homeschooled my entire life. So I can't really say much on I can't say definitely about teenagers in the school system, but I think that it has a lot to do with being forced to do stuff, and therefore they do it and they don't learn much. But for homeschoolers, they learn better, in my opinion, but there's not that kind of competitive, you have to stay ahead of your class mentality that there is in a school system. And I myself sometimes find it a bit hard to focus and actually do a to-do list. Like, I have a to-do list and I have everything that I need to do. I just sometimes find it difficult to actually do it and actually make the things that I need to do happen. And what I find is that being able to race yourself is a really good way of focusing and a really good way of getting stuff done. So earlier this year, about 4 or 5 months ago, I read the book Do Hard Things by Alex and Brett Harris. If you haven't read it, get a copy. I'll put a link in the description to Amazon if it's on Amazon. I'm guessing it's on Amazon. And read it. If you haven't read it, read it. And I read the book beginning of this year. And after I read it, I joined the online forum which goes along with the book. And on this forum, after you read the book, join the forum. After I read the book and I joined the forum, I discovered this thing which the Harrises had developed called focus sprints. And the basic idea of a focus sprint is you get a to-do list and then you allocate and then you allot times for each task, and then you try to complete those tasks in that amount of time. And it does several things. Firstly, it helps you focus. Secondly, it helps you know what you're gonna do and when you're gonna do it. And thirdly, you actually end up finishing your tasks earlier than you expect. So for me, if I give myself an hour to do English, for example, I find that I could do it in half an hour, 45 minutes, because I kind of want to race myself. I'm being my own pacer. And in running, in certain runs like marathons, or when you're training for a run, you get a better runner who can run longer than you can to run beside you. And it's their job to make you keep pace. They're called pacers. And you're kind of your own pacer when you do a focus sprint, because you are trying to beat yourself. And it helps you to complete your tasks faster. And I find that I do them quicker, but I also am more engaged in them, because focus sprints also help eliminate distractions. Because, as I said, you're pacing yourself. You want to get those tasks done before your timer goes. So, when you want to get something done in half an hour, and say you get a message from someone, you don't want to check that message, because you know you're going to be losing time that you could be putting into your task. So it allows you to stay more focused by eliminating distractions. And you can sprint with yourself, but that is a bird in the background who is screaming a warning call because there's probably a hawk flying around. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. And you don't just have to sprint on your own. You can sprint with other people on the Do Odd Things forum, which I spoke about earlier. When you post for that you're doing a focus sprint, other people can join that sprint with you, and they are also pacers. You're pacing each other, which just adds an entire new dimension to it, because focus sprinting is one thing, but when you're focus sprinting with someone else, and you can have someone else doing it, you have company. Even if they're on the other side of the world, you have company to do it with. And I think that's something really important. And also, if you have siblings, do it with your siblings. If you have friends, do it with your friends. Even just like text back and forth. Like, I'm sprinting to 12:30, and I'm in it gets interesting when you're in different time zones, because with different time zones, you can say I'm sprinting till 12 p.m. but 12 p.m. your time could be 12 p.m. could be an hour later for someone in the next time zone. So what you have to take into account is that instead of saying I'm sprinting to 12 p.m., you say I'm sprinting to the next 00. So if it's 12:43 for me, I say I'm sprinting until the next 00, which is 1 p.m. And that'll work for everyone. And then doing it alone, I usually do it. I usually post saying I'm focus sprinting, but sometimes, because I'm in Australia, they're in America, sometimes the time zones don't work out. But you're racing yourself, so you really don't need someone else to do it with you. And that's just another interesting part of it. So how to do a focus sprint. Here's how to set up a focus sprint if you're doing it on your own or if you're doing it with someone else. If you're doing it on your own, write down a list of everything you want to get done. Then get your phone and allocate times to each of those tasks. So if I was doing it, I would say hour to English, hour to math, hour to Bible study, etc., etc. And then set timers for each of those things and try to complete those tasks as quickly as possible. And it will help you to stay focused. It'll also mean that you can see when you're going to get stuff done, and you can have an end goal. Because an end goal is a very important part of life, not just for focus sprinting, but also for just other areas of life. So for me, something that I like doing, if I am focus sprinting and I want an end goal, at the end of the day I say, okay, end of the day, I'm going to do something I enjoy. And that could be going for a walk, or watching a YouTube video, or watching a documentary, or something like that. Something that I can look at and say, I'm looking forward to that, I'm gonna go do that. And that'll, again, aid you in going faster. Something that you have to keep in mind, though, is when we try to do things quickly, we often don't pay attention to them. It's like eating when you're not hungry. You eat because it's there, but you don't actually taste it or enjoy it. So you have to do it quickly, but not so quickly that you can't take any of the information that you're learning and put it into your mental bank, into your reserve bank, and for later use. You have to stay focused while doing a focus sprint, if that makes sense. And I really enjoy it. I had a focus sprint for today, and on the list was filming this video. So as you can see, it works. And then sometimes, like, don't beat yourself up. If you're doing a focus sprint, don't beat yourself up if you don't do it, if you get distracted, because we all get distracted. It happens to me, it happens to everyone else. And life happens. So if you get distracted, don't feel terrible about it. I've taught you how to set up a focus sprint for yourself. Now you can set up a focus sprint for other people. This is a great thing if you have a youth group, or if you go to a homeschooling group or anything like that and you want to get stuff done, or even if you just have have friends, you want to get stuff done together. For doing it with other people, I would recommend everyone, basically the same process, getting a list, but instead of having individual timers, have one timer, have a block timer that everyone uses. So even if I'm doing English and you're doing French, allocate the same amount of time to it. Or you can do it another way, which is more of the accountability side of things, where if I'm doing English for an hour, you can say, be doing French for 15 minutes, be doing Spanish for 15 minutes, and then doing, I don't know, history for half an hour. And then I just keep you accountable and you keep me accountable. And we just keep going back and forth. If we're texting, we just go back and forth. I finished math, going on to the next 15. And then they'll know you're going for another 15 minutes or another half an hour or whatever. And so they can keep you accountable for that. And as I said, it's great. Focus sprinting is awesome because it allows you to stay focused. It is called the focus sprint. So I would definitely try it. Implement it into your day-to-day routine, whether it is getting ready for school, getting ready for bed. If you're homeschooled, just getting your tasks done nice and early, nice and quickly, so then you have the rest of the day to do whatever you want. Thank you for watching. I will see, I appreciate you watching every one of my videos. Like, subscribe, comment, check out my other videos. I will see you in the next one.